Welcome back to Danielle Inspires Travel Series. I'm so excited about inspiring you to encounter personal growth, increase your creativity, build relationships, enhance your health and well-being by traveling the world. Travel is more than just a getaway. It's a transformative experience that opens your eyes to the beauty and diversity of the world inside of you and outside of you. If you missed the first broadcast in this travel series, there is a link in the description about the MSC Seashore 7-day Caribbean cruise. I had a wonderful time of reflection, remembering my very first cruise, packaged in such a way to inspire you to make traveling the world part of your self-care regimen and personal growth experience. So in the previous episode, I mentioned that I had the money and the time to travel, but I didn't prioritize seeing the world. My excuse for limiting my opportunities of growth and enlightenment through exploring different cultures and the beauty and diversity of the world was that I had ambitious financial goals, like paying off my mortgage in 5 years instead of 30 and remodeling my entire home. In reality, I denied myself the benefits of traveling the world because I didn't feel worthy of the luxury. Who am I to travel to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower and travel by train through the French Riviera to enjoy the countryside of France? Who am I to shop at expensive French boutiques in Montpellier, France, or vacation in Aruba, the Bahamas, and Mexico? Who am I? Who are you, for that matter, to travel each corner of the globe and all points in between? You're a child of God, and He created this wonderful world for you to explore and enjoy. God wants you to see His glory through what He created. Don't deny yourself the honor, nor deny the Creator the glory of seeing Him through His marvelous creation. On today's Danielle Inspires, let's address the question, how to start traveling the world, part 1, coming up next. I want to share a few scriptures with you and a prophetic declaration from the Lord pertaining to travel in 2025 and beyond. Let's start with Joshua chapter 1, verse 3. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Psalms 2:8. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance and the ends of the earth your possession. Isaiah 43:4. Because you are precious and honored in my sight, and because I love you, I will give men in exchange for you and nations in place of your life. You have no need to be intimidated by traveling the world. Instead, the world should tremble at your coming because it's a fulfillment of scripture that every place where you set your foot, God offers that territory to you as your inheritance. The Lord your God said, ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance. It's a small thing for God to send you where He has called you, and He has called you to the nations. Go, go, go. Your word in 2025 is to go and immerse yourself in God's creation. If you receive this word as from God for your life, please let me know in the comments or send me an email. Take a moment and affirm God's word as a right now word for you, and it will be so. If you live in the United States, there is no time in history when you need to discover what's beyond your borders like today. For the past 55 years, the United States has shaped my perception of the world and my identity as a woman and as a descendant of Africans. When I was born, the dominant culture in the United States said, here's your identity, don't go trying to redefine yourself. I would have continued to believe the narrative handed to me at birth had I not visited France for a month in 2024. I lived with a French host family and I had a housemate from Brazil. I spent a minimum of 4 hours each weekday learning French and every waking hour immersing myself in French culture. Within the first week of visiting France, I realized that I could be whomever I choose to be. In the French culture and in a broader European culture, I had the permission and the expectation of enlarging my perspective and exploring different points of view. Navigating unfamiliar environments, meeting new people, and solving problems on the go can help you let go of biases and false assumptions about yourself and about others. Traveling the world seemed like a giant that I could not slay, a luxury only the rich could afford. But it has become a key part of my identity and wellness journey. Listen, I'd love for you to get started on your own personal journey of growth and self discovery using travel as a tool to broaden your horizons. If the inspiration I share today sets a spark in you, be sure to like this video. The very first thing I recommend you do to get started traveling the world is to start traveling locally within your state. I live for bold declarations of faith through action. Remember, your prophetic word in 2025 is go. Get the step in. Move your blooming hind pots. No matter where you want to go in life, you have to start where you are. Do not despise your humble beginnings. Bigger and better things begin from where you are today. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Zechariah 4:10. People seek financial freedom to buy the authority to command their own destinies. They want to experience bigger and better things. They don't want to answer to an employer. They want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And most often that includes the luxury of traveling the world. Yet most people, like me, of modest means, and we don't fit into that 1% club, but we too desire to command our own destinies. There's good news for the rest of us in that 99% club. And that good news is that faithfulness leads to the authority we seek. One small faithful step leads to bigger opportunities. Matthew 25:23 tells us that whoever is faithful over the little that he has qualifies to be ruler over much. Listen to this parable Jesus shared about being faithful with the little you have. In Luke 19, verses 12 through 26, Jesus said, therefore, a nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and then return. Calling 10 of his servants, he gave them 10 minas and said to them, engage in business until I come. But his citizens hated him and sent a delegation after him, saying, we do not want this man to reign over us. When he returned, he received the kingdom. He ordered these servants to whom he had given the money to be called to him, that he might know what they had gained by doing business. The first came before him, saying, Lord, your mina has made 10 minas more. And he said to him, well done, good servant. Because you have been faithful in very little, you shall have authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Lord, your mina has made 5 minas. And he said, and you are to be over 5 cities. Then another came, saying, Lord, here is your mina, which I kept laid away in a handkerchief, for I was afraid of you, because you are a severe man. You take what you did not deposit and reap what you did not sow. He said to him, I will condemn you with your own words, "You wicked servant. You knew that I was a severe man, taking what I did not deposit and reaping what I did not sow. Why then did you not put my money in the bank, and at my coming I might have collected it with interest?" And he said to those who stood by, "Take the mina from him and give it to the one who has 10 minas." And they said to him, "Lord, he has 10 minas." "I tell you that everyone who has, more will be given. But from the one who has not, even what he has shall be taken away." Having very little isn't a curse. Instead, it's part of the cure. Whether you have 10 of something, 5 of something, or just one, do not be like the wicked servant who feared taking action with the little he had. When you are faithful in very little, you gain authority. You seek to elevate your life further than your dreams. In the parable of the nobleman, the first two servants, having mixed what they had with faith, gain authority over cities. You might not aspire to have authority over cities, but you want to gain access to the world, don't you? You want the time and the money to experience leisure and luxury in a foreign country. Well, guess what? What you desire is your birthright. The nobleman in that parable is Jesus, and what he has given you is enough when you mix it with faith. Way too often, faith is the missing ingredient in building the lives we desire. You can start by building a life you want with what you currently have. Do you have very little resources? Well, that's all you need. Whether you have much or little, faith is always required. I had the time and the money to experience a bit of luxury and leisure, but I was still stuck in a life that made me miserable. The missing ingredient was faith. Faith is like a muscle. The more you use it, the bigger it gets and the stronger you become. Right now, you might not have the faith to make your dream vacation possible, but perhaps you have the faith to do something you've never done before locally within your home state. You can begin to travel the world by traveling locally first. What are some cities, towns, or counties in your home state that you want to visit for the first time? What are some cities you've visited in the past, but there are some new experiences you'd like to have on your next visit? I think it's time for you to plan a day trip or a weekend getaway within the next 30 days. Let's put your faith in action. Enjoy the process of dreaming about what's next for you as a world traveler, remembering the world includes your home state. Your neighboring cities, towns, or county might seem like a very small step towards your dream vacation abroad, but you are not a person who despises humble beginnings. You rejoice with the Lord to see the work beginning. And it takes increasing measures of faith to build a life worthy of the talents God has invested in you. Since I am one to lead by example, for the next few minutes, I want you to come with me as I travel locally in my home state of Florida. There are plenty of places I haven't been in Florida because I'm new to the state. So there are many opportunities for first-time experiences. Let's start with my trip to West Palm Beach and Lake Worth Beach, Florida. My son and I arrived at Lake Worth Beach in the morning, just in time for breakfast at Benny's on the beach. Benny's has two locations in walking distance of each other. We started at Benny's Pier location, and it was so good we decided to go to the location at Ocean Walk as well, which was closer to our hotel. The pier location provided the sunny summer vacation vibe we crave year-round, and then for lunch we headed to the Ocean Walk location, which is across the street from the beach. Benny's menu, food, and service are on point, so be sure to stop by either location for good food and a good time. The beach was a few short steps from Benny's Pier location, so we found our place in the sand and then made our way into the ocean. It was a beautiful day. The water felt amazing, the beach wasn't overpopulated, and we splashed around and hung out on the beach until check-in time at the Ambassador Hotel. The Ambassador Hotel isn't exactly a hotel. The luxury, turnkey, and spacious studio, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom suites provide the perfect home away from home. For me, there's nothing like a beachfront vacation, and at the Ambassador Hotel, you're only a few steps away from soft sand beaches of Palm Beach, where you can enjoy amazing sunsets and fall asleep to the sound of gently lapping waves. After a wonderful nap, my son and I headed to West Palm Beach for our first time experience of seeing Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire in concert at the I Think Financial Amphitheater. We sang and danced all night long. The next day, we rose up early to watch the sun rise, and then we headed back home to pick up the dogs from their vacation. So next on the list is Orlando, Florida. I've been to Orlando a few times and I've visited Discovery Cove as well. But I wanted more of the same with a twist, which I'll explain the twist momentarily. So Discovery Cove is an all-inclusive theme park where first-class amenities and unforgettable animal encounters come together in a breathtaking tropical paradise. As a guest at Discovery Cove, you'll enjoy freshly prepared, all-you-can-eat breakfast and lunch. Your price of admission also includes various non-alcoholic drinks and snacks like pretzels, cookies, chips, and more, along with Coca-Cola products, bottled water, coffee, tea, and ices. Some of my favorite areas of the park to explore include the Explorer's Aviary, where you can watch as hundreds of colorful birds soar above and around you. Feel your heart soar as feathered friends glide in to meet you and nibble food from your hand. Another favorite is Wind Away River, where you can ride the soothing currents of a tropical river as it winds past sandy beaches, into the aviary, through a dense rainforest, beneath the rocky terrain of a cascading waterfall, and through an underwater cave. If you get tired midday and need a nap, consider lounging at Dolphin Lagoon and watching the dolphin unwind and play between swim with dolphin encounters. My son and I took a nap beachside while the dolphins splashed and played in the lagoon. The grand finale for us is typically the Grand Reef, where we swim and snorkel with thousands of tropical fish through a stunning coral reef habitat. You can play hide and seek with thousands of beautiful fish, from small colorful angelfish to velvety rays. Further out in the reef, stunning habitats create the feeling of swimming right alongside sharp-toothed reef sharks. You can even take paths and bridges to reef islands and hidden grottos as they delve into the reef from above, around, and below. So here's the twist. To keep our second visit to Discovery Cove fresh and interesting, instead of participating in Swim with Dolphin Encounter, we purchased the underwater walking tour Sea Venture. Sea Venture is an underwater walking tour where, while wearing a dive helmet, you feel right at home under the sea. During the underwater journey, you'll experience one-on-one encounters with unique animals, schools of fish, and velvety rays. You'll even get to touch unique sea life found along the way. The adventure ends with schools of fish feeding around you with massive open reef as your backdrop. Sea Venture is a once in a lifetime undersea experience. I imagine it feels like walking on the moon, but surrounded by fish. There are plenty of unforgettable encounters at Discovery Cove. The all inclusive tropical environment provides a wonderful day trip away from home. And though the tickets are a bit pricey, you really can't beat the once in a lifetime experiences that await you there. So, I am out of time, but not out of great inspirational content, which means there will be at least a part 2 of this topic of traveling the world coming your way soon on Danielle Inspires. As a recap of today's episode, we discussed the benefits of traveling the world. So, traveling the world can broaden one's perspective, facilitate personal growth, enhance health and well being, boost confidence, build faith, and inspire future goals, just to name a few. There are plenty of scriptures in the Bible to support traveling the world, and 2 of my favorite are found in Joshua 1:3. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses, and Psalms 2:8. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance and the ends of the earth your possession. We talked about our prophetic word for 2025 and beyond, which is what? Go. God has called us as ambassadors to the nations. We learned that faithfulness leads to authority that you seek, and authority grants you access to people, places, and things. Without faith, you can't build the life that you want and deserve. And please remember this: traveling the world is your birthright. To start traveling the world, I recommend that you start traveling locally in your home state. I provided 2 great examples from my own life of traveling locally. I have one more example to share with you on the next Danielle Inspires of a day trip within my own county. So, building from there, we'll look at several other ways to get started traveling the world. As a juicy bonus, we'll chat with a professional travel agent and get her perspective on how to get started traveling the world and gain an understanding of how a travel agent can help you reach and experience your dream destination. Until next time, be bold, be great, and be inspired. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. Thank you for joining me to watch another episode of Danielle Inspires. If you have not done so already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the alert button to be aware of new content as soon as it is released, and share this video with those you love. See you next time.